Yeah, the moment. My favorite part was the moment in the middle where we realized it was all our fault.
Yeah.
We're like, damn.
What's in the box?
Movie theaters. How would we fix them? Are they too expensive? Too dirty? Or do they just need more pickleball courts? We'll be discussing that and a lot more because this is Eat Sleep Nerd, a show where you can check out, go AFK, and relax with us as we discuss all things nerd. As always, I'm your dorky DJ, Corey Winter. Joining me here in studio, we got our dorky panel of geeks, Christian James, Josh Winter, Nick Murphy, Jason Summer. How you guys doing?
Outstanding.
I almost thought you forgot my name.
I kind of forgot what I was saying. So
There was like
Well, see, I was
a
about to
strange
compliment
pause.
I was about to compliment you on that very powerful intro.
Thanks. I was rehearsing it before you guys came.
It was,
Okay.
Yeah.
It was just the stacking adjectives.
Right.
It was just like he doesn't know where he's going with this. He's just gonna Biden it to the finish line. It's fine.
Life of its own.
Oh, so how you guys doing? It's nice to have you guys relatively dressed up for once. This is
Because otherwise we're just bums.
flip flops
I
and
just didn't
I mean,
change clothes.
Yeah, you refused to air the nude episode, so we just took it the other way.
now that we're not behind the desk anymore, it's kind of hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
what is your relationship with movie theaters nowadays?
I think I've turned into my dad. I just don't go anymore. There's too
Okay.
many people kicking your chairs, kids being too loud, gum on the floor, popcorn don't taste like it used to. Back in my day, you just put a nickel in the machine. You could play Time Hunter all day.
Time Hunt.
Time Splitter.
Time Splitter.
That's a whole
Yeah.
different thing.
Or Dino Hunter,
Um,
either one.
Need
Or-
for Speed.
Or time
Need
cops.
for Speed.
Well, back in my day, I liked sitting down at the Pac-Man machine
That's right. With your bag of quarters.
and play opposite my brother and just do the little rolly ball on it.
Put your quarters up there on the console. Nobody touch it back in.
Right.
Nobody touch it back in.
This bit has gone on too far.
Way too far.
I'm talking about arcades now.
Well, I mean that's
So they used to have arcades.
Right, yeah.
That was a
So
thing.
for those of you who are so young,
That you don't remember these things.
right, the arcade was like a thing. Anyway, but then they introduced them to movie theaters, which was a really good idea,
Because they had the best arcade games.
right? Because they would just because they had all the money, and then they got rid of them. And once they got rid of the arcades,
Except they never really got rid of them. They just were all broken and they never fixed
right.
them.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It was like by attrition.
Yeah.
You spill an icy on it one time, it's over with.
Right. It's like that dang poor slush puppies just hanging off the side of the console.
It's a slush puppy.
It's like the ice.
You never
like
heard of
a-
slush puppy?
yeah.
Uh-uh.
Oh, it's like an icy. It's
Yeah.
just another brand.
Wait, that's the dog.
Yeah.
From the ice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a slush
Okay,
puppy.
gotcha.
Yeah.
One with the
Yep,
scarf on.
I'm
Yeah.
with it now.
Yeah.
He's so cold.
Didn't know he had a name.
So cool.
Yeah.
What about you, Josh? You like movies? You like going to the theater?
I do like movies. And I like movie theaters. I don't think the theater itself is the problem with the movie industry right now.
Okay. Oh,
More to come.
More to come.
I don't know. Are we teasing? Are we in the intro? What are we doing?
Yeah.
I'm just getting general thoughts.
No, I think movie theaters themselves are better than they've been ever, like from a technology standpoint.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like pictures bigger, brighter, more colorful, more vibrant, higher definition,
More speakers.
more speakers. Like you're getting
You can recline now in a lot of places.
Yeah, like most of them that have been refurbed within the last 10 years or built within the last 10 years have reclining things. Everyone's doing the online ticketing, which is great. You know your seat is there.
And
So
yet
you-
some people still somehow sit in your seat. I'm not sure how that.
Every once in a while, it's usually because they're old and disoriented. But
Or young and disoriented.
yeah,
It's
and
dark.
so no, I do not think, and again, I will break this down in a minute. I don't think the movie theaters themselves are the problem.
Okay.
I think
The experience is not the problem.
no, I think it is an industry problem, not a theater problem.
Okay. What about you, Christian?
Yeah, I enjoy movie theaters. Actually, me and Josh were talking about the time we went to go see all of Daniel Craig's Bond movies. When
Yeah.
was the last one that came out?
Well, the last one was not Die Another Day. Good Lord. No Time to Die. The one
One
before
before
that was
Yeah. Skyfall?
Spectre.
Spectre. Yeah,
Spectre. Yeah, that was when that was coming out.
I have not seen those two movies.
they're so
They're very
good.
Very good.
I saw the intro in Best Buy.
Yeah, the whole Daniel
Yeah,
Craig
yeah.
saga is peak.
Yeah, I like
Peak James Bond.
Quantum of
Peak.
Solace was a little.
Well, it was.
boring.
They literally quit writing the script
Yeah.
so they could get it in before the Writers Guild strike.
That doesn't make it any better.
I'm just saying that's
Yeah.
why it sucked. They at least
Yeah.
had a good reason.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it was that, or wait till I don't know ever.
I don't know.
To
I prefer quality over quantity.
For quantum
Mm-mm.
T quantum.
Stop. Just stop.
He wants
You
a quantum
just-
of quality. Yeah.
Quality.
What about you, Jason? I know you mentioned the arcade thing, but like,
Yeah. I would say I really enjoy the movie experience. It's like one of my favorite things. Going to the theater, going and watching the trailers. If I'm not in my seat by the time the trailers start, the experience is almost ruined for me.
Mhm.
Like I just have to see that. Sitting there enjoying the movie with people, with strangers, that's fun. Especially when you're all into the movie and reacting the same way. But Josh is right. You know, outside the movie theater, it's a mess. Everything is so expensive that it almost feels like it's not worth it sometimes anymore.
Mhm. Okay.
You know, yeah. So
Okay.
That's what I was going to say. My point. Everything is just too expensive,
Yeah.
and
The rent is too damn high.
it is I've heard about a family of 4 going and trying to enjoy a movie like we used to back in the day. As you've got
$100.
to put up
Easy.
triple figures
Easy $100
just
bucks.
to enjoy it. Your kids are going to want candy and drinks, and you might have eaten a small dinner, or you might not have eaten since lunch or whatever. You got off work and you go to meet them at the movie
I didn't because it's the only way to afford
yeah
going
Yeah,
to the
hope
movie.
you
you
filled
can't
up.
have lunch and a movie with
Yeah, you can't do that anymore.
So, I 100% agree that things are just too expensive, especially when you know that and now you don't even have to go out and buy the DVD. You can just wait till it gets released
That's gonna be one of my points.
for
Within
a
60
service-
days.
Yeah, for a service that you already pay for and just watch it in your house.
We're talking about prices. Talking about it's just too dirty. Talking about the arcade's not what it used to be. Talking about that you can just watch everything at home. What about pickleball? Do you guys think you want pickleball at movie theaters?
well, I go. Sorry, Christian, please.
No, too cool.
No,
Go ahead.
No, you go.
Okay, go. I don't understand pickleball for once.
So this is a sport that sat in vinegar and salt for a while, and then it.
Okay,
Well,
it's
just
actually really fun. Cindy and I
it's
play.
just smaller tennis.
yeah, and it's so much more.
But
intense.
why is it way more fun?
It's so much more fun.
Big ping pong.
Yeah,
So is tennis.
that's a whole other conversation.
I don't get it.
It's so
like
fun.
I don't know why it's more of a thing than tennis is.
I don't know, but I can't. It's so much fun. Anyway,
Tennis is a lot of running.
so you guys don't want that at movie theaters.
I just
No.
don't. I'm not going to go do it.
Yeah.
It takes away from the reason going to the movie theater.
Yeah, I would like to get hot and sweaty and
Then
then sit down in it
crammed between
for
two
2.5
people.
hours.
Yeah.
All right, so you
Yeah.
guys can see where this is leading. There was a story this past week where the National Association of Theater Owners, which that's apparently a thing. Just
I didn't even know that was a thing.
That sounds like an Illuminati kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really does.
It's like an HOA for movie theaters. But yeah, go ahead.
So they got together and voted on some stuff about the future of the movie theater industry. So I'm going to read this article real quick. I've actually just kind of pared it down so it's not as long. So, amid widespread panic over the supposed death
good
of
band.
the theatrical film industry, one group of theater owners has developed a solution: pickleball. The National Association of Theater Owners, which represents hundreds of theater chains in all 50 states and across more than 100 countries, announced a $2.2 billion pledge to upgrade the theatrical experience. In addition to updating sound systems, seating, concessions, and laser projection tech, theaters say they will pivot to building ancillary amenities on theatrical complexes, which could include pickleball courts, bowling alleys, arcades, and ropes courses. I guess.
What's a ropes course?
I don't know.
Ropes
Oh, that's
concourse.
like, it's like where they've got stuff across between two beams. Then you like walk across it like two sets of ropes and one
Oh,
rope for your feet and one rope for your hand, and you work your way over.
slacklining.
A course of ropes.
Yes,
Slacklining.
Sure. Yeah, this association's 8 largest member chains, AMC Entertainment, Regal Cinemas, Cinemark USA, Cineplex, Marcus Theaters, B&B Theaters, Harkins Theaters, and Santikos Entertainment.
Went from things I definitely recognized to I think you're just
Yeah.
making things up.
They pledged more than $2 billion to be implemented over the next 3 years, with smaller chains and local single-screen venues pledging
They
additional
pledge it
funds.
like it's the UN. We pledged $2 billion.
Also, can you talk about how many theaters there are in the United States and $2 billion is going to fix this problem?
Yeah, right.
Don't think so. Like,
telling me.
why is my popcorn $15 then? They're going to only pledge $2 billion.
So,
Anyway,
a lot of stuff there. But so just to kind of tie us into like the current state of movie theaters, the past decade has seen massive changes in the theatrical industry, including the shift from film to digital projection, shrinking theatrical release windows, a huge crater in sales caused by the COVID-19 pandemic, and theater chains large and small declaring bankruptcy and a general trend downward in ticket sales. So my first question to you guys, with all this information,
Yes.
do theaters need to become entertainment centers that offer more than just movies?
May I say the first thing?
Yeah.
This is the stupidest thing I have heard in a long time about movie theaters. That people don't go to the movie theaters to be active. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I mean,
I guess a lazy activity.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
first off, I would go even further. People don't be active. Like
Stop being fit.
hardly ever.
Yeah.
But no, let alone at a place where
Yeah.
I'm like, my goal is to sit in a dark room.
the best thing that they could do, the best thing that they could do is come up with short termed activities that'll kill time while people are waiting,
Like an arcade.
like an arcade, or even do 30-second karaoke things.
So
Wait in like a
Or
separate
more-
room or something.
more
You know?
trivia with Maria Menounos.
Oh my God. That is
God,
the worst
no.
thing. It's the easiest trivia.
She's at gas stations now too.
yeah,
Yeah,
she's
Yeah.
really branched out and she has a
Yeah.
wellness podcast.
Yeah.
They let her pitch it at the end of the,
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
At or not pitch it, but
Wonder how she's doing.
anyway.
apparently well.
No, I am. The idea is fine. It already sounds like the execution is questionable.
It's not,
Um,
how is it fine?
No, not
Just kind of being the center of
the idea
everything
of
you
making
go
it into an entertainment center.
Yeah.
is not a bad idea. But we used to have those. They were called malls.
Mhm.
Oops.
A lot of times they were connected with movie theaters.
Correct.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. It's just
We're going
it's-
backwards at this point.
Well, no,
Yeah.
that's not necessarily a bad thing. The word we use is tradition.
Mm.
It's a circle.
And no, I mean, like, it's like I said, inherently the idea is fine.
Hmm.
I don't think it's going to solve the problems they're trying to solve. I don't think it's going to suddenly skyrocket ticket sales to movies. But that doesn't mean it couldn't be ancillary income, right? Because I'm sure you're still going to pay to play all these things. So I mean, making movie theaters a little more like a Dave and Buster's or something, that's not inherently a terrible idea. Especially if you gauge the pricing on the ancillary activities to not be ridiculous. So if the idea is that you use these to make up bulk revenue as
Mhm.
opposed to premium revenue, I think it could be a decent income source. Like one of our favorite theaters here in Huntsville is it used to be the Monaco, now it's just the Cinemark at Bridge Street.
Yeah.
But one of the better places to eat in that outdoor mall is the Scene restaurant there. And as ridiculous as a bag of popcorn is, you can get sushi there for like $10 a plate.
Yeah.
Like it's good. It's decent sushi. So like a lot of the times now, if I'm going to a movie there, especially if it's like between when I get off work and when the movie starts, I'm eating at that restaurant. It's not a bad deal.
It's quick too.
And it's pretty quick. And if you're running late, they'll bring it to you in the movie.
But like, to add on to that, even if you're not late, they still know those. Like I get asked all the time when I go,
When's your
"Hey,
movie?
when's your movie start?"
Yeah.
And they'll prioritize your order.
In 3
if
minutes, what
it's-
can we do?
Yeah.
Like, and it's good. And I'm sure that's a pretty decent source of income, especially because as soon as you start getting into restaurants, things like that, again, it's a premium theater. It was Huntsville's first premium theater.
Yeah.
The bar, I'm sure, does crazy business
Mhm.
there. And so, I mean, I don't think enhancing the movie experience is a bad idea. And I think that their margins and their costs are probably astronomical. I bet they could do it and make a good bit of money. But it doesn't fix the core problem of, am I going to the movie theater today?
Yeah.
You still have to get me to go to the movie theater. And so I think that while they're having decent ideas, the pickleball thing is still weird. That's just weird. We're going to add swimming pools to the movie theater. Like it's a weird idea. But I do like the idea of it being an entertainment space. But if there's not a movie that I want to see, I'm not going to go there. There's lots of places I can go to be entertained.
Yeah.
Getting me to go to the movie theater becomes, is there a movie there I want to see?
Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
There's so many places nowadays that are just entertainment centers or entertainment hubs. And so it's like adding another one that also plays movies seems counterintuitive.
What's funny is, as Josh was mentioning, like our premium theater here in Huntsville, the Cinemark at Bridge Street. Bridge Street by itself is kind of an entertainment hub.
Yeah.
We have other entertainment hubs popping up all over town. We have Mid City. We have Town Madison. We
Used to be a movie theater there.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Mhm.
like the first like dedicated entertainment district here in Huntsville used to have a theater. It got torn down. It's not getting rebuilt. So
Theater now.
Which
Yeah.
is funny because it got refurbished.
It
And then
it
they
did.
tore it down.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
2 years before they tore it down.
It was really nice too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did a
Mhm.
really good job. It had an
Yeah.
arcade.
A working
They
arcade.
did. They did.
Couple
Jason?
quadas. You can
So
play
you're
again.
firmly against the idea of entertainment districts.
I'm against the idea. Let me just okay. It's not like an against for thing because it's not like it's a life or death thing. It is just it's just like it just doesn't make sense to me.
It's getting maybe a little too far away from the core
It's
experience.
like okay. So to Josh's point with the Monaco or now the Cinemark
Yeah.
with the Scene restaurant,
At Bridge Street.
it makes at Bridge Street, right?
Technically, we're supposed to say the Bridge Street.
The Bridge. Sorry.
That's also down.
It makes sense. Dinner and a movie. That's a great date night.
Yeah.
And the theater was designed to kind of work in tandem with that restaurant. It's like it's all part of like the same entryway. It's part of the same.
Yeah.
It's part of the same aesthetic.
It is a flowing experience.
right.
Yeah.
And so dinner and a movie makes sense. You're going to probably go do dinner and a movie on a date anyway. That's kind of what people do. It's like it's a good go-to, good for conversation. Then you go watch a movie. Having activities that require time and attention while you're waiting to go to the movies, or who wants to do anything after a movie? Like that's the other. Like I'm obsessing over it and just chilling after a movie, which is really funny because you just chilled for 2 hours. But the things that they could do are actually just directly related to the movie going experience. Lower cost. There's no reason why a bag of popcorn should cost $13.
Mhm.
Popcorn is cheap. We all know that.
But that paper bag, man.
Yeah, that paper
Bucks.
bag.
Paper bag, the labor,
Yeah,
which is probably
God,
at $7.25.
The highly enthusiastic scooping of the popcorn into the bag, right? And then the worst thing that they did was start releasing movies to digital and streaming platforms within 60 or 30 or 60 days of the movie coming out.
45 to 60
Make people have to go to the movie.
Yeah.
Stop doing that. And it's going to be, I don't know. Does anybody remember when it used to be like a year or two
Yeah.
before you saw a movie on the shelves?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like you had to go in the theater or else you missed it.
Oh,
I mean-
on the shelves.
Right, yeah,
Risk.
exactly. Yeah.
Physical media.
Right.
LOL.
But I mean, I'm just saying, make it a scarce commodity.
Yeah.
Make it scarce. Make it in demand. That's all you got to do. People will go back to the theater if there's not another option.
But there is, though.
Well, pirating.
No. We don't
advocate
condone
this, right?
But if you do, you should have a VPN. Today's sponsor is one day. But no, I mean, and I think that's actually the entire thing. And I may accidentally be moving into
I was actually going to use your point as a segue, so go for it.
okay. So this all comes back to streaming and the MCU is 200% the exact reason we're in the situation that we're in. And they both kind of come back to the same point. They're terrified of doing what you said. And it's because A, There is so much content now. Content is everywhere. Everyone has 17 streaming services. So they're worried that if they make it hard to go to the movies, if they don't entice you to go to the movies, you really will just stop going. You might not,
No.
but playing by the
I
numbers,
probably would.
because we proved it with.
I'm serious.
Yeah, no,
I
I mean,
agree with him.
and I think a lot of people would. I wouldn't either, because to me, going to a movie on the big screen with the big sound and everything else is like the pinnacle experience.
Can I make an addendum to that? It would be, I mean, that's a huge reason why I have not seen a lot of the movies that y'all have seen, is because it might entice you to go to the movie theater, but I'm like, I don't really care about that.
No.
Now, you know, those huge films, the Avengers, all of those big socially
movies, yeah.
socially aware ones. I'm like, okay, I'm definitely going to go see that in the movie theater specifically. I don't want to wait for that. I want to go see it there. I'll do that. But how many movies am I going to go see without y'all in the movie theater this year?
Maybe
2,
one,
3, maybe.
4.
You know, once a season.
Yeah, once a quarter.
Yeah.
No, and that kind of goes to what the other point was with the MCU. Now they only want to make a movie if it's going to be a blockbuster.
Mm-hmm.
They're terrified of smaller budget movies because you're not going to go see them. You're just not. Everyone says the exact same thing if it's not an event movie. I'll wait for it on streaming.
Mm-hmm.
I am not interested in spending $20 a person if I don't get anything to eat or drink. $20 a person to go to the movie theater. And so you're in this weird situation where we've all agreed that we're only going to go to the movie theater if it's worth going to see. But they're scared to make any movies unless they know we're going to go see it. That is the biggest cluster circle F word ever, because everyone is waiting on everyone else to do something.
I was going to say that.
Yeah.
Apparently, there is a movie theater cartel.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
So why don't they just all band together and say, we're not putting anything out on streaming, no streaming platforms for 365 days, you know?
Because the theater owners are not the people making the movies. They're just the vendors that show the movies.
But don't, aren't there movie production companies that have agreements with movie theater companies?
Not since COVID.
Yeah.
So it's, I mean, and that's what the problem comes back to, is all of these companies that make our movies also want you to use their streaming service now, because that's what the kids are doing. They're streaming. So Paramount honestly is trying to see if they can just release their stuff themselves. Who needs a movie theater?
Yeah.
No one wants to go to the movies.
Oh, okay. So apparently then we're trying to bring back something that's not going to happen anymore. So with all these changes and the way that United States entertainment works now,
Worldwide.
what would we do?
You could just say the United States. This type of business model goes much deeper than just the movie theaters.
It's in-stage capitalism in the movie industry.
I didn't want to make this so heavy.
Well, no, I mean, but that's exactly what it is, though. So the people who show the movies are trying to get you to come see the movies. The people who make the movies only want to make the movie if they know you're going to go see it. But they don't necessarily care if you go to see it at the theater if you're willing to pay them directly to watch it at home.
So that's the key right there. So the people that are actually making the content
could actually give a rat's ass if you actually go to the theater.
Correct, because they actually could theoretically make more money if they just distribute it themselves on their streaming services, because they're not paying the theaters, they're not paying the what?
Jack the price up.
Except no one has made a profit on their streaming platform.
Correct. So streaming services keep raising their prices because they're not making money in theaters, because they're distributing stuff directly on their platforms, but no one's actually paying enough to actually, benefit them.
Which is now why they're firing all the people who were making the stuff, because they're having to cut costs to make room for it's stupid.
Movie theaters, the reason those things keep getting so expensive is because they're trying to combat all the movies that aren't going to theaters. So that's why snacks are so expensive. And it's now why they're introducing all these entertainment things to try to make up some of that income. So I actually kind of see pickleball and other random stuff like that as a good thing for movie theaters, because that's giving them more avenue to actually generate income, and theoretically could lower prices on snacks and movie tickets.
I don't think it's going to. I don't think people are going to go to the movie theater. People are already not going to the movie theater. I can just go to the pickleball court if I want to go play pickleball.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go to the movie theater
to play pickleball. And then
like,
maybe see a movie.
Hey, Beetlejuice is out. Want to go see that real quick? I'm not doing that. Like, I'm just going to go play pickleball.
Which is funny in Huntsville, that the fact they're building a whole pickleball stadium.
Arena?
Why would
Can we call it a pickleball arena?
I think it is.
Arena, yeah, that's a good word. But yeah, why would our movie theaters also have pickleball if we already have a
It is
pickleball place?
everywhere.
It's ridiculous. But anyways, it's my turn to use a big word. This whole situation is kind of like a Ouroboros.
Whoa. I like it.
Because, like you said, it's going around in circles. They're just waiting on something to happen.
It's eating its own tail. Yeah.
Everywhere.
I was
So,
just
yeah.
thinking of the Truman Show. Right around. Right around.
We've danced around this subject, but let's just go and definitively ask you guys, in your opinions, what is the main reason you are not going to movie theaters right now?
Can I go ahead? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Get buzzers.
um,
It's because there's nothing to see.
Okay, so it's not necessarily the price.
No, I mean,
Like,
like
it's definitely a factor, obviously. But
yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like it is more than it used to be. Everything's more than it used to be. Like it's fine. Everything sucks. But
It's fine. It's all fine.
but in order to make movies great again, to
I don't like
I'm
that.
getting hats.
Don't like that.
shop.eatsleepnerd.com.
No, it's that was a loud too.
I've been counting this entire time.
Killing them.
So there's behind the scenes footage of Corey telling us the rules. But no, it's too movie theaters are just in a very difficult position because they're trying to solve a problem that's not their fault.
Okay.
And really it's a lot of problems.
So they're the victim here.
Kind of.
Honestly.
Like if
Yeah,
anyone is the
it really
victim
is.
of the current situation, it really is movie theaters. And it's easy to get mad at them because everything is expensive and it's always been expensive and we know that. But all things considered, it's hard to do any activity as a couple for less than $100 now.
Yeah.
So like let's
Oh, wait, I don't.
short of going to a picnic that you made yourself, and even then you probably spent $40 on the groceries. Like
Mhm.
it's easy to blame them because they're the ones who take your money.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really not that much their fault.
It's the way to
And-
survive.
And even when we get to the part where we talk about how we would change things, my solution really doesn't have much to do with the movie theater.
Okay.
It's about the industry itself. And so I don't know.
What are you laughing at?
It's just like Christian was going to start to say something again and got cut off.
No, I'm just
I know, it's just what it looked like.
I'm just
It was
moving my
funny
mouth.
to me. That's all.
I fidget.
This is pretty good. That's
Yes.
So Josh's main reason is something to watch. Christian, what about you?
It's just funny that we're all in like similar age groups.
Within a few years of each other. Yeah.
Few years of each other. So we all grew up with the video store and general cable and how movie theaters used to be.
Cable.
And
It's a left-handed salute, so it's okay.
it's just funny that we've become to feel this way, that like going to theater it's beyond doing anymore, because it used to be something to look forward to. There was something to look forward to going to the movie store, because it's like movies weren't as accessible
It was a big
as they
deal
are now.
Yeah.
It was a big deal to do movies. And so what Josh is saying, and like in the industry, they have to make a decision, like, what are we going to do? We're not really profiting from our streaming services, not really profiting from our movies, because we're just trying to put out movies to make our streaming services. Which one are we going to do? It's really like, you have to pick one or the other.
Yeah.
And picking one or the other is difficult because of the general public. And
Yeah, because right now, as a society, we're craving convenience, not the experience.
exactly.
We all will just want to be lazy, eating ice cream at home on our sofas.
I don't agree with that,
Oh,
but I'll come back to it.
Okay.
Finish your point.
I mean, that he finished it, really.
Oh.
Yeah.
All I know is that Gen Alpha would rather watch a movie cut up into 84 TikTok videos than
skippity.
sit down and watch something. But I'm not going to blame the youth either, because this isn't their fault. but they are a factor.
They're just consuming content that they're given.
Correct.
Yes.
So I think it's because movies aren't interesting anymore. I think that, I think that
Hashtag
Nga.
How do you spell that?
Ga.
Obviously.
In that same font.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
I thought you went to college.
Didn't you graduate before all of us?
It's literally an anagram.
I think that movies are just I don't. This is not a comparison of me to anyone else, but I don't particularly count myself in the nerd culture, so to speak.
Weird show to be on. Continue.
I just y'all invited me.
He's the outside perspective.
Yeah, that's right. It's the normie.
So I feel like, and the fact that, I teach different generations and I'm around I'm around different kinds of people all the time.
The youth.
And they don't talk about movies. They don't talk about going and seeing a film. They don't talk about a movie that's coming out. And when we were in high school, when we were in middle school, I can't wait to go see Harry Potter.
Right.
I can't
The
wait
Dark
to go
Knight,
see Dark Knight.
Transformers.
I saw Dark Knight 2 times in the theater. I never go see things more than once ever, really.
Mhm.
But like, I went and saw the Dark. I think I saw it 3 times actually in theaters.
When the Dark Knight came out, it was like the biggest topic at school the entire week.
I mean, it was going to the theater actually at Bridge Street. Is where I saw it.
Same.
I remember thinking, I can't wait to be 21. I can sit up there. Anyway, I remember thinking,
It's literally a
The
worse
privé.
seat. But anyway,
Yeah.
you're actually above most of the sound.
mhm.
It's actually a terrible place to sit and watch a movie.
Well, you're supposed to be drunk while doing it. So
Oh, yeah, that helps.
Boy, anyway.
Boy.
There's just not much. I think back to this Anthony Mackie quote that he said that we used to hyper focus on actors
Mhm.
and performers. We would go see the Denzel movie. We would go see the Morgan Freeman movie. Maybe black actors.
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise movie.
Tom Cruise speaks for the whites. Yes.
Yeah.
And Tom Hanks as well. You can have him too.
The other Tom.
Beat me to it, yeah.
But we would go and see movies almost not specifically for the actors.
No,
but
that
we would
was
go see a movie,
but that was the thing though.
right? Because the actor was
My
I'm
boy's
gonna
in
see
it.
That. Right?
Yeah.
I'm going to go see that.
Yeah.
And like Will Smith would have a Hollywood blockbuster every summer.
Every summer.
Gotta go see the Will
Or
Smith.
like
Yeah.
Pauly Shore.
So we.
Wow.
I'm just kidding. Just moving on.
Wow.
Biodome was lit.
Encino Man.
But you would go and see a movie
Because your person was
because
in it.
your person was in it, because the story was interesting, because you knew that Daniel Day-Lewis, right? Anytime a
Mhm.
Daniel Day-Lewis movie came out,
Daniel
Yeah,
Day-Lewis
yeah.
don't miss.
you knew it was going to be Oscar worthy.
Yeah.
So you would go and see that film. But now they just kind of put out crap, in my opinion. They don't put out things that are interesting and that are wait, let me finish that Anthony Mackie quote. Sorry.
I was like, that's what he said?
Yeah. But like he said that you used to go and see movies because of the actors. You would relate to the actor much more than you would relate to the film, and then the
By
actor
extension,
would get
though, you would
you would
yeah.
exactly. And now you go to see the new Spider-Man movie. You go to see Spider-Man. You go to see Iron Man. You go to see Black
Fast and
Panther.
Furious. Yeah.
Yeah, and
83.
but it doesn't. It's almost like it doesn't matter if the movie's good
Mhm.
or that the actors are any good, because I want to go see that new Deadpool movie. I forgot his name. not I don't want to go see Hugh Jackman act. I don't want to go see Ryan Reynolds act. I want to go see the Deadpool movie.
Yeah.
And I think that has diminishing returns. Not that movie in particular, because it did well. But I think that has diminishing returns on getting people to come and see things. You've got to, in my opinion, put out art much more than you have to put out something to make a profit. And I think that the American public are much more frugal with their money in a way to where they're not going to go spend it on crap or on something that's not
Substantive.
Well,
or worth it.
But
So,
the other problem, though, for your point, though, is that the American public doesn't seem to appreciate art.
I think they do. I think they do when they get it.
If they're almost forced to be exposed to it.
Why was Infinity War and Endgame the 2 most successful movies ever? Because of the story. and the investment that you had into it.
Well, yeah, from 10 years of movies.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So the investment and the attachment that you got to the story behind that created the art that people wanted to see the conclusion of. And now they're just putting out crap to continue.
But it was a spectacle. That was a spectacle. That was all of the heroes coming together finally. It was a big, big payoff. And fortunately, the story was good, but people would have gone anyway.
I don't know if they would have gone anyway.
But I think that there are plenty of well-written, well-acted movies out there that have really amazing stories that don't have action or action pieces to them.
Yeah.
And they're missed. Nobody goes to those. Nobody sees those.
I agree.
And I think that's the direction that the American appreciation for entertainment has taken. It's like, if it's not a spectacle, we're not going to go to the theater.
That's part of my point.
Yeah.
Is that if you put something out there that people will want to see in general, that might not necessarily have to be a Marvel thing or a superhero thing or whatever. If you put something out there that people will want to see, they're going to go and see it, almost regardless of the price.
Well, Megalopolis.
Megalopolis.
Yes, that's Megalopolis is about to come out.
Yes.
I'm interested to see how that
fascinating.
Does. Yeah.
I think it's going to bomb.
Well, have you guys seen projections for it?
No.
So Francis Scott, what is his name?
Francis Ford Coppola.
Francis Ford Coppola.
Yes. Spent $150 million of his own money to make it.
Yeah.
How do you?
He did a costume.
The opening weekend projection for it is $6 million.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's going to be a bomb.
Yeah.
It's going
if it doubles its projection, it is still a horrible
Like this
bomb.
is a movie from the guy that made The
Godfather
and what else? I mean, a guy that knows how to make
Apocalypse Now.
Yeah.
No, we have gotten stupider as well as a.
Yeah, and like to that point, I watched The Penguin when it came out.
Yeah.
We watched that the other day.
And I was thinking about Colin Farrell. I was like, Colin Farrell was a big deal. And he was still making movies since the last time I saw him in a movie. And I'm like, what has he been doing? So I checked his IMDb. And
He's been doing stuff.
He'd been in a lot of movies that I just never heard of.
Yeah.
And I was like, that movie could have been incredible because I was like, well, to your point, Colin Farrell is an amazing actor.
Yeah.
But where has he been?
Does stuff. Yeah. He's been doing stuff. You just didn't know.
Yeah.
So, and to your point, The Penguin, the first episode was great.
Great.
Yeah.
But it's all story, which means
there's very little
nobody
action.
watched it.
Yeah.
I get, like, I bet you that not a lot of people watched
It's
it.
got to be the spectacle to get
Right. But it was so good.
Mm-hmm.
And we're missing out on those things. And because it's yes, sir.
Well, I mean, you can finish your thought.
Okay. But
I like how we're raising hands now.
but because it doesn't have the spectacle, it's not being seen, and it's just kind of it's a symptom of what we're talking about. Yes, sir.
So wait, can I say this first?
I mean, you should have raised your hand.
So
but yeah.
is that I'm the professor here. So is it our fault that
That's what I was gonna say. Did the millennial generation and the younger Gen Xers, did we actually kill an industry?
Gen Z? I think Gen X is our parents.
Gen Z is beneath us, though. I was referring to Jason.
Gen X.
Gen X is
Yeah, he was right at the transition. Yeah,
I'm a Zennial.
yeah. I was gonna say
Our
he was
parents are
right.
boomers.
Wait, that's true. What year were you born?
79.
Yeah, no, right. So old.
Zennials are 77 to 83.
Yeah.
Boomers are 65 to 80.
He
But
was.
you're not a geriatric millennial. You're just
I'm a
We're the
youthful- I'm a
geriatric
youthful Gen X.
millennials.
I'm a youthful Gen X.
okay. Sorry, go ahead. I apologize.
Okay, no. So we constantly, we being the millennials, constantly get blamed for killing industries. I think, and I literally didn't think about that until I was listening to you talk. I really do think we might have accidentally killed the movie industry. And it's because we were the driving force behind. Okay, we all agree this is the MCU's fault, right?
Mhm.
Like pretty much,
Mhm.
at least for 80% of it, it's the MCU's fault.
MCU and nostalgia.
Because
I think the timing of when the MCU peaked and the pandemic happening right afterwards.
correct, kind of,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, like that's what solidified the whole. If we're not going to make $1 billion, we're not going to make the movie.
100%. And James Cameron, his fault too.
Yeah, well,
Oh, yeah.
Because he only makes movies when they're
Bangers.
when they're
Yeah.
gonna be, when they're bangers.
Yes, yeah.
Credit
The
where
Way
it's
of
due.
Water was such a banger.
It was a visual feast. Anyway,
It was a
No.
spectacle.
I really do think our generation killed the movie industry. And again, because of the pandemic and because everything was Marvel, that was the only thing that was guaranteed to get greenlit. Marvel and Star Wars, and we saw how that went.
Oof.
Like it's I've also spent a lot of time working with people who are significantly younger than me. Sadly, I'm not teaching them. They could learn so much. But you're completely correct though. Like it blew my mind when we worked at Best Buy. These kids have not seen Marvel. They don't care about Marvel. Anything like that. We were the demographic, the driving demographic behind the success of those movies. It was us and our dads for the first half of it, taking us to see them. That's where all that money came from. We were the 18 to 35 demographic that drove
that
those
entire
movies.
time.
Yeah.
Yes, we started at the beginning of it, and now we're wrapping up. And guess, now that we're all turning 35, guess who's kind of over it? We are.
Hmm.
And so now there's no one going to these things. We'll still go see it because I'm 30 movies deep, but like you said, I'm not going to go see it multiple times. So you get maybe one ticket out of me, maybe. And I'm, by all standards, we're the diehards. We still go see them. Most people don't go see them anymore.
So Die Hard is now going to see it once.
Yes.
Sad.
Actually going is
Yeah.
the die.
Right.
And so I really
Saddle
do think our generation is actually guilty of killing this industry. And in order to fix it, you're going to have to not only bring us back, but you have to bring back people who have never cared about going to the movies.
But like the only thing that we care about, the only thing that I think entertainment content creators think that we care about is nostalgia. And in which
Okay.
case, the MCU kind of created its own nostalgia for us.
Right.
Correct.
So yeah,
It's been around long enough that I can get nostalgic about the thing that I am still watching.
Right.
Yeah, we're dancing all around it. So
Yeah.
Using those two thoughts, let's drive this thing home. How would we fix the movie theater industry?
Dive on in.
So, you were starting to talk about nostalgia. So I was pulling up some numbers, looking at just what were the biggest box office bombs so far this year, 2024. And I was trying to find some that had critical acclaim, but just didn't do well at the box office. 'Cause
Borderlands.
not critical acclaim.
Right.
I saw a commercial.
So I was looking at the top 10, and
And it was too much.
aside from Kevin Costner's Horizon, an American Saga, pretty much all of them are established IP.
Was that in the theaters?
Yeah.
Okay.
For like a week and a
I
half.
thought it was okay.
And it
I thought it was
bombed.
TV. My bad.
Bombed.
Because it wasn't
Or-
action packed.
Sorry, Kevin.
So, 9 out of the 10 I'm looking at right
It's just
here
the house and his marriage.
are established IP. So we have Furiosa from Mad Max. We have
Mhm.
we have Borderlands, an established IP from video games. We have all of the, like Madam Web, established IP from Spider-Man.
Oof.
All of these just existing franchises, nothing new.
Mhm.
So, starting with the nostalgia thing, do we think nostalgia has been a driving force in killing the movie theater industry? There's nothing new.
I think it's what Josh said. I think if we aren't because we know that the younger people are not, they don't care about going to movies.
Just
they-
as an activity.
right. They so maybe this will work for them. Maybe pickleball will get them over there, and they can get the movie theater can at least get something from.
'Cause what are
from the
young
people
kids
who aren't
doing?
going anyway?
Pickleball.
Wait, are they really?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you a young
Every
kid, Corey?
time Cynthia and I go to play pickleball at the big court in Madison by the airport, the mass majority of them are young people,
The
not
youth.
our age.
Okay.
You know, they could put some stuff in there to just become an entertainment
Mhm.
venue. You know, at that point, and still have some movies there. But I think I agree with Josh and myself because it was a united
It was.
Yeah. that.
Hive mind.
I think that we, as a generation, have been catering to us this entire time, and we have stopped going for one reason or another. But we've stopped going, and I think that they might be thinking it's time to shift our focus from this older millennial group to
We're-
something younger.
We're out of the
try to
age
get
bracket.
them,
Yeah.
right, and try to get them into this activity. I do find myself wanting to go see a movie often. Like I want to go to the theater and see a movie and blah blah blah. But for me, like I said before, there's just not much out there that I really want to see. But I can't fault the movie theaters for trying different things, especially when, as Josh said, we're not going to the movie theaters when it was really us and our parents going in the first place. Our parents are too old. They don't want to go out. They don't want to be around people. They don't want to go see that, especially when they know in a month, because old people can wait. They have no problem waiting. They have no problem waiting. They will just wait and turn it on Peacock that we had to set up for them.
It's always Peacock.
and watch it there in their own home with their own popcorn that they made.
They can pause the movie 8 times.
Pause the movie, go pee.
Yep.
You know, they can. So they're not making movies for Gen X. The movie theater is not convenient for Gen X. We are kind of shopping our way out of the theaters. That's really their only other option. The only other place to go is to go younger. And the younger people, Dave and Buster's, the main events, all that stuff, Stars and Strikes, I think there's one. That's a thing that the young people do because it's an activity. They can go and film content. They can go and just walk around and, you know, how we used to walk around the mall and stuff. That's what they're doing now. So why not do that within the movie theaters?
Yeah. All right, let's get some definitive answers how you would fix
my answer.
Movie theaters.
So, you know, as we've been talking about it, I'm wondering if movie theaters is actually a dying enterprise, and that there is no fixing it. And I've had this thought recently that digital streaming media has ruined our ability not only to want to go out and go to the movies and whatever else, but it's also destroyed, or it's having an extremely negative impact on our ability to create novel and new ideas. We are able to spend time in those songs and those movies and those TV shows that we grew up with. And like, we don't have to leave them behind anymore. So there's no need to create something original that maybe was influenced by it because you still have it. And so you don't have to go long for something anymore. You don't have to be inspired by anything anymore because you can just have it right there. So I think it's a two-factor thing. One is you've got movie theaters as a dying entertainment venue, and then you have the inability or the need to create anything that's truly original and truly new anymore because you have access to your childhood at the touch of a button.
So, Josh, Nick and Jason have been saying just how the movie industry is dying.
Yep.
But how can we fix it?
I don't think there's fixing it.
So if we work under the assumption that it's not going to die, that it can be saved.
If it can be saved, how would you save it?
Like I said, it actually has nothing to do with the movie theaters themselves. You have to go back to the production houses. The biggest thing, and it piggybacks off of what Jason said, the best thing they could do for the movie industry would be to kill the streaming sites, which really shouldn't even be that revolutionary an idea because they're all bleeding money.
Yeah.
Every single one of them are bleeding money.
Literally, as we're recording this, Disney has said they're raising prices yet again.
Because they're so desperate to not be hemorrhaging on these. They are already firing staff. Everyone is firing staff. They're laying off everyone they can possibly lay off in an effort to curb costs. That's only getting them so far. So now the only thing they can do is raise prices. They're trying desperately, and it's so bad because it's not even that they're trying to make a profit. They're trying to quit having losses doing it. And that's even like the big boys like Disney, who has an entire like theme park industry that should be helping kind of support all their other endeavors. No, they were losing like $1 billion a month or a day or something absurd.
No,
it wasn't a day. It was like
every time we talk about this, you raise that number.
No. It was seriously
$1 trillion a day, right?
It was seriously like it was.
No, I looked it up afterwards, and it was like nowhere near the number.
Okay, whatever.
It was still
someone was losing a crap ton of money. Maybe it was they'd lost $1 billion so far in the year or something. I don't know. Anyway,
a lot of money.
Point is, They're not just losing a little bit of money. They're not just having trouble breaking even. Like, they're not even close. And what's most frustrating about all of this is what we've traded the industry for, which is the streaming services, are not even good. And we're not getting very many movies. They focus more on television because a movie, when it comes out, you watch it and then it's done.
Mm-hmm.
That is not going to get you to renew your subscription next month. So they're leaning more heavily into television shows. Except even then, it's not like TV used to be, where a season was 20 episodes. It's 8 episodes, 6 episodes.
A year.
And
Yeah.
it takes you 3 years. The
Yeah.
best thing I saw this week was they announced that they're filming season 2 of Wednesday. Just to remind you, that was 3 years ago that Wednesday came out.
That's crazy.
Wow.
And the comment was, it is wild that it takes 3 years to get 8 episodes of a CW show.
Right?
And
Yeah.
so it just kind of makes you wonder where the money is going. So, like most things in life that are ruined, I think it all comes down to structure and responsibility. So they're clearly spending a crap ton of money, but they don't really have anything to show for it. So the solution really is kill the streaming services, go back to cable, because we're all spending more money now than we were spending when it was just cable.
Truth.
It can still work on demand,
Mhm.
but it doesn't have to be everyone has their own streaming services. That would hopefully allow television to be television again. And you can start focusing on movies being movies again. Because that's the biggest thing, is that nowadays, we're in the golden age of television. Well, we're just after the golden age of television. I would say the golden age of television was leading up to and right after the pandemic. We're in the slightly post-golden age of television.
Tarnished gold.
Yeah. But the problem is we traded the movies for it.
Mm.
Because now we put so much effort and so much polish into a lot of television. Think your Game of Thrones
Mhm.
and things like that, like premium cable television or now streaming site television, that when you finally go see a movie, it just felt like a short TV show. You actually feel let down by the movie as opposed to
Yeah.
getting 6 to 8 episodes.
Good point.
Well, and the TV shows are the good ones.
Mm-hmm.
Like right now, I'm watching Fight Night on Peacock with Kevin Hart and Samuel Jackson, and it's fantastic. But I'm already like let down a little bit because episode 6 came out today, and I'm sure it's only going to be 8 episodes, and then it's going to be another 5 years before I can get a resolution to Samuel Jackson's going to be dead. By the time I try to finish, and it's really disheartening and it's frustrating. Like, I would rather you just put out a movie. Just put out a movie. Now, again, I might not subscribe back to Peacock or whatever, but I would just rather. To me, the issue is content. It's the content that is put out is not great. I have found myself coming home and turning on YouTube.
That's the only thing I watch nowadays.
Way
Same.
more than I watch
Yeah.
anything on streaming. Way more than I watch anything on TV other than the news. I find myself watching YouTube all the time and watching those content creators. So if I'm doing that at 35, I know for sure that my students are doing that, and the people younger
Yeah, they're
than me are
doing
doing that.
TikToks though. Not
Well, sure, but I mean, but they're consuming
Sure.
things
Yeah,
in a
yeah.
different way, and to where the streaming is probably why the streaming services are bleeding money, because they're not capitalizing and maximizing on the people that they should be able to. And same thing with the movie theaters. That's probably why they're trying to do what they're doing now.
Yeah,
to capitalize on it somehow. That cursor is so big.
to take it back,
Use the cursor.
to take it back to
I was
Josh's
like,
point,
who are you going to beat with that?
I looked up Josh's number. So you were all over it. So since Disney Plus launched, they have lost $11 billion. But it looks like
Oof.
at the peak, it was about $1 billion per quarter.
By
Wow.
the way, it only launched in 2020.
Yes. I think that's right.
In
Eat it,
4
yeah,
years.
Disney.
Like
God.
$11 billion in 4 years.
It's like, yeah,
2024 and over, by the way.
yeah, like
Like,
their revenue has been growing
Still
consistently,
2 seasons.
but
And
they're still
2024 left.
in total at a loss each quarter.
Wow.
So
so
Not great.
So yeah, so it comes again, these are a lot of good ideas that are being done the bad way. So cuts need to be made, but not to the people working on projects. Cut the projects. Cut the extraneous streaming services. Go back to cable. You either pay for the channel or you don't. And let TV be TV and let movies be movies. Because the problem is we've
merged,
mushing them together.
Mm-hmm.
That's unlikely. Just being real, because no one wants to be the first company to say we're discontinuing our streaming service.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Would it be worth it if we were to go back to cable, cut the streaming services, all of them? Would it be worth it to have a Netflix channel where it can still be destination TV, whereas you have this stand-up special is going to be Friday at 7.
Mm.
And then this documentary, episode 2 of this documentary, will be available at 9:00 or whatever. Or then you have a Star Wars channel. You have a that's all owned by Disney, but they show the one thing that you might want to see of Disney Plus. Here's a Pixar channel. Would it be worth it to do that? Because at least you get cable revenue from that. But would it
see, the big thing is we gave up commercials to have streaming services. That model would work if you brought back commercials. There are a lot of kids who have never seen an ad in their life other than the 5-second one that you can click past on YouTube, unless you have YouTube Premium, in which case they've never seen
worth it.
I do.
An ad. Like, real talk. They've never had to sit down and watch a 2-minute Prilosec ad.
Man.
Not one.
They've never seen
you Lant Lick or
diabetes
primetime commercials.
Need cash now.
Call J.G.
Wentworth. 877 cash now.
Nobody just got that.
Yeah. Unless you're our age.
Can we get a content ding for that?
There's no way. That's free advertisement. You can call J.G. Wentworth. They'll give you your cash annuity.
We did it.
Alexander Shannara.
Their content. We just did it.
Call me Alabama.
All right. So
anyway,
this conversation has gone on a long time. So let's get thoughts.
So the more likely solution to this, because again, no company wants to be the one that's going to say, yeah, we give up. F it. Which you would have all my respect and would actually make me want to subscribe if you did that. But
sounds like a paradox.
Subscribe to what?
Exactly. So no, the real solution, I think, would be for theaters to branch out past movies. And I don't mean like pickleball courts. I mean the things that they show other than movies. So, for example, to me, it's really weird that they have not struck a deal with UFC. Why can I not go pay half of what I would pay for the pay-per-view, go see it at the theater, theater keeps half, gives half to the UFC, they get concessions, all that fun stuff.
It's got to be cheaper though, right? Like it's got to be cheaper.
So that has started becoming a thing at more regional theaters. So like I know Good Mythical Morning, they do like a once, maybe twice a year event called Good Mythical Evening. It's after
and you can
hours.
go to the theaters and see it.
It's R-rated, but they've actually started showing it in select theaters.
Yeah. So I think that would be, and some theaters are trying to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're showing, older movies or like anime, things that normally would not get a theatrical release.
Is it like Fathom Entertainment?
Fathom, yes.
Yeah. Lean into that. I think that could be a huge thing. Show some of these things that really are special and that you wouldn't normally see.
That would be cool.
Start showing NFL games at the theaters. That'd be awesome.
Imagine how big of a thing Hamilton would have been in the theater.
Correct.
Well, that's where it was going to get released there.
Yeah.
And
COVID.
And that's, I think that's your more immediate solution, especially since a lot of these things that you could show, a lot of these events that you could show have a fixed cost. It's not going to go up. The cost is not going to increase just because you want to show it. The UFC fight is being filmed regardless, right? Most Broadway shows that are going to be released in some format are obviously being filmed regardless. Same thing. It does not take a lot of equipment or forethought to cover live concerts. I would go to, I mean, friggin' Taylor Swift
I literally just looked it up. The Taylor Swift Eras
broke
tour
all the records.
that went to the theaters last year. It was
Mhm.
just a slightly shortened cut of one of her concerts. The budget for it was $15 million, which is just to edit it.
Literally to
Pittance.
get it to the theater.
It's a
Yeah.
Pittance.
The box office was $267.
Yeah.
Just to show a concert in theaters.
Not a damn ad.
And granted, that's Taylor Swift, but
A
Yeah,
quarter
but-
of her merch sales.
Yeah, but that's the other thing. It's because malls closed, there's no place to get merch anymore. A small store built into movie theaters that are selling swag for the next popular movie
Merch.
would get would make money.
I agree. I really like
Like-
that idea. That would be. I would come out and watch sporting events or big time TV or whatever. I would go. I would 100%. I would go to a movie
Yeah.
theater.
Hey, I want a season pass for Game of Thrones this year.
Yeah.
dude,
Yeah.
that'd be cool.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like this can work, but I don't think the solution is to change the facilities. It's to change what we're showing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so if we have decided as a society that we're kind of over movies, aside from very special instances, cool. What else can we show? What else would be really cool and really change the experience if you could see it on an IMAX screen?
Okay.
And like I said, especially if you consider that it was content that's going to be filmed regardless anyway.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. Because the theater revenue at that point, aside from the theater's cut, which thanks to Matt Damon, we know is roughly half, it's gravy. It's all gravy. Like that's money that you would not have made otherwise.
Yeah.
People in Alabama, unless they travel, will never see a Broadway show.
100%.
Most Broadway shows have a professional recording at some point.
Yeah.
I would have loved and would have paid more than a movie ticket costs, honestly, to see Hugh Jackman as Gaston in Beauty and the Beast when he was in Broadway doing that.
Yeah.
I would have paid a lot of money to see that. Would have been cool if that was in theaters.
Yeah.
Like,
And there's so much, having seen Broadway shows, there's so much that you can do to enhance the experience by filming it and editing it in the way that you need to, or whatever the case may be,
mhm.
to make it almost movie like.
I think
on the
Hamilton kind
theater.
of proved that.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
It could almost be better to see it in the theater as
100%.
opposed to in the
Theater.
Well, then we start ruining
Theatre.
the Broadway.
Yeah, and I'm just-
history.
Don't you dare.
But,
Yeah,
but,
sorry.
but
Don't
you don't
you
you
dare.
don't change anything on stage. You just change how you film it.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, you don't.
That's what I'm saying. The production itself does not have to change.
Right. It's because what Hamilton did was they filmed the entire show, and then after the show, they went back and filmed a couple of things and then smashed it together where it looked like it was actually happening in real life. It
Also,
didn't
different angles and just splice it together.
100%. Now you
Yeah.
have the
Yeah.
camera on stage.
Is Hamilton still popular in Broadway?
It's
I
just
think-
popular.
brother,
I think it
Yeah.
will be forever. Yeah.
Okay,
It
so
will be
I'm
forever.
just confirming
Yeah,
that
yeah.
the recorded did not destroy the
No,
stage.
no.
depth.
Yeah,
No.
you throw Hamilton
The-
up on stage, people go watch it.
But like the thing about Broadway is that you have Lin-Manuel Miranda and that opening cast was there for X amount of time, and then they left, and now they have
New people.
They've
Yeah.
recycled people in and out, but people still pay. Those tickets have not gone down in price that much.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
So, he's still making money hand over fist. That theater, Richard Rogers Theater, is still making money hand over fist. So the filming of it didn't ruin. If anything, it got
It made it
my
more
kids,
popular. Yeah.
Yeah.
my middle school girls
Saw it
sing
on
that-
Disney.
Sing it every
Yeah.
day. They sing something like you say something from the musical, just not thinking about it, and they start singing the song. It's. I agree
Mm.
with you. I think that's the and that could have been something that theaters would have glommed onto if COVID hadn't happened, because
Yeah.
it was going to be
Yeah.
released and then COVID happened and it got put on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
So
Like, HBO should be doing theater showings.
let's
Like-
let's redo The Sopranos in theaters.
Let's just show The Sopranos in theater. Like,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like, it's and
Great
again,
theaters,
like,
yeah.
yeah, like I said, like have a season pass to your favorite show. You can go see it at the theater, provided there's a seat available.
Mhm.
And maybe the season pass is $100. When you consider even that's actually not a deal. It's $60 $50. Season pass is $50.
45.
45.
35.
But no, I mean, because again, TV is 8 episodes now.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, $10 an episode. 80 is kind of a weird number. But like $50, $60, you get a season pass. There's a seat available. You can pop in and watch it on the theater, on the big screen. Best sound, best picture you could possibly get on a scale that you would never have at home.
You have your 4:00 show, your 6:00 show, your
and it's only one day a week, so they're not losing spots for other films, like
or other shows.
And that brings back the thing that's really missing is anticipation. People aren't anticipating going to the movies anymore.
Yeah. And again, it's even the TV parts of it are moving away from feeling like TV parts. One of the biggest reasons that we used to get super excited when our new shows hit Netflix was you'd binge it.
Yep.
All the episodes dropped at once.
Yep.
We're going to watch 20 episodes right now. Let's go.
Yep.
They don't even do that anymore because they're trying to artificially extend your subscription. So it's 1 episode a week, 1 episode a week, 1 episode
And
a
they're
week.
trying to keep it like in the
Zeitgeist.
Yeah.
So I personally just feel like that lends it, especially nowadays. I had the kids this last weekend. We went to see Transformers. But when we looked up the movies to see what we could go see, it's not like it was in the old days. Old days, there was 20 movies to pick from.
Yep.
There were 4.
Well, we're
Mr. Movie, though.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, like,
I remember
4.
older days where there was 2.
Well, okay, that's a little different. But
could you see in black and white back then? Did you
Actually,
see color?
it was color, but only colors hadn't been invented. It was only black and white.
Not as vibrant.
that's all the colors they had.
There was just black and white and just shades of gray. That's all we had.
But yes, that's in summary. I think that is how you could actually save the
I
movie
like it.
theaters.
I like it.
All right.
So I don't know, but I think that's the solution. Make it an event. Lean into it. We said that from the beginning. I think we hit the nail on the head almost immediately. It used to be an event. Make it events again.
Make theaters events again and make that
Mintia. Mintia.
All right, on that note, thank you for tuning in.
Minty.
If you haven't already, go over to youtube.com/@eatsleepnerd. Click that subscribe button. Hey, I'm doing the thing.
I know you
the
do
thing.
Rules 2 and 3.
You know I'm doing my thing. I'm doing my thing. I didn't stop you from changing topic. But you can't.
Be better.
This
Click
isn't a
the
presidential
subscribe
debate.
button.
Sorry.
Click the like button, leave some comments. Let us know how you feel about the movie theater industry right now and what you would fix about it. While you're here, click the little bell icon so you get the notifications whenever we post a new video. And then most importantly, share us with your friends and family. That's the best way to support us. Any final thoughts, guys?
Share this with Hollywood. We probably did it better.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, I'll take a meeting with anyone, but I really want Bob Iger or Zaslav. I could fix either of your studios.
Dave, you listening?
Dave.
He's probably watching YouTube too.
Right.
Yeah.
He doesn't even pay for HBO.
All right, take it easy, people. Eat, sleep, nerd.